Hey everyone, and welcome. So as we're looking ahead to a new year, it is the perfect time to think about our health. But instead of just making the same old resolutions, what if we actually made a real science-backed plan? Today, we are going to break down the most impactful health science from this past year into simple steps you can actually use.
So, are you feeling it? That annual wave of pressure to make some huge, life-altering change? If you are so not alone. It can feel like a lot, right? But what if we've been approaching this whole thing all wrong?
You see, the problem often isn't our motivation, it's our method. So many of us fall into what I call the resolution trap, where these huge, ambitious goals can, ironically, set us up for failure before we even get started.
This really breaks it down, doesn't it? That old way, a big, vague goal like, I'll get healthy, it feels like you're staring up at an unclimbable mountain. Your brain literally doesn't know where to begin. But the smart way? It's all about taking one small, super clear step. I'll walk for 15 minutes after lunch. That's not a wish, it's a concrete action. And that small win, that's what builds real, lasting momentum.
Okay, let's shift gears for a second. To make these smart changes, we need to know where to focus our energy. And here's the thing, true health isn't just one thing. It's an interconnected system. I want you to think of it as a trinity: your brain, your heart, and your metabolic health, which is really just how your body uses energy. These three are constantly talking to each other.
So, with all that in mind, where do we start? Well, the fantastic news is that a wave of research in 2024 really helped simplify things for us. It turns out that making huge improvements across this entire health trinity, your brain, heart, and metabolism, can be traced back to improving just 3 core lifestyle habits.
And here they are, our roadmap for the next few minutes. We're going to tackle these one by one. Sleep, nutrition, and movement. These are the 3 pillars that science is shouting from the rooftops about, the ones that can make the biggest difference.
First up, sleep. Let's be honest, it's usually the first thing we sacrifice when life gets busy. But some really compelling new research shows exactly why it needs to be our absolute first priority. This is wow. A major 2024 study delivered a pretty stark warning. Poor, disrupted sleep in your 30s and 40s is directly linked to memory issues decades down the road. Why? Well, researchers think it's because deep sleep is like the brain's nightly cleanup crew, clearing out harmful toxins. When that process gets messed up, it can actually speed up brain aging. So this isn't just about feeling tired tomorrow, it's about protecting your brain for the long haul. So how do we fix it? The great news is it doesn't require a massive life overhaul. Just look at these simple steps. Creating a little wind-down routine, putting your phone away, yes, really, and keeping your room cool and dark can dramatically improve your sleep quality. And that last one, consistency with your wake-up time, is the secret sauce. All right, let's move on to our second pillar, nutrition. What we eat is just fundamental. And this year, some of the world's leading health authorities gave us a really clear, updated guide on how to best fuel our bodies.
And that guidance comes from a landmark 2024 report by the World Health Organization and the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization. I want you to think of this as a global consensus on diet. It's designed to cut through all the noise online and just tell us what truly supports long-term health.
And here is the breakdown from that report. What I love about it is that it's refreshingly simple. On the left, you've got the stuff to build your meals around. Lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, healthy fats. And on the right, the items to maybe have a little less of. Highly processed foods, sugary drinks, and too much salt. The real takeaway here isn't about restriction. It's about addition, making smart, simple swaps. Okay, finally, let's talk about our third pillar, movement. We all kind of know we should move more, but recent science has put a real number on just how dangerous a sedentary life can be, and it's a bit of a wake-up call.
8 hours. That's the number from a major 2024 study. It found that being sedentary for 8 or more hours a day significantly increases your risk of heart failure. For anyone with a desk job, yeah, that's a sobering statistic. It makes it crystal clear that we have to find ways to break up all that sitting time throughout the day.
So the key is to weave movement into the routine you already have. You don't need a gym membership or a 2-hour block of free time. As you can see here, it can be as simple as taking the stairs, doing some stretches during a TV break, or turning a phone call into a walking meeting. And remember that finding from the research, any kind of physical activity helps rejuvenate the brain. It is a true win-win.
Okay, so we've covered sleep, nutrition, and movement. Now, how do we bring it all together without getting completely overwhelmed? Well, the answer is all in the approach.
This right here, this is probably the single most important takeaway. Forget about trying to be perfect overnight. That is the old way. That's the resolution trap. The real goal is just to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Small, consistent progress is what leads to massive transformation over time.
So I'll leave you with this question. Not what will you do next year or even next week, but what about today? Will you go to bed 15 minutes earlier, swap one soda for water, or just take a 5-minute walk around the block? Just pick one thing, because that one small step, that's where your journey truly begins.